Chinedu Okafor walked slowly along a busy street in Port Harcourt after closing his small electronics repair shop for the day. The late evening traffic moved around him as people rushed home, and the warm air carried the sounds of generators, distant music, and street vendors calling out to customers. Chinedu's mind was heavy with worries about rent, bills, and the slow pace of his business. As he passed beneath a streetlight, something unusual caught his attention on the ground. A black leather wallet lay quietly near the edge of the road, almost hidden from everyone else walking by. Curious, Chinedu bent down and picked up the wallet. He looked around to see if anyone nearby had dropped it, but the people around him seemed busy with their own lives. No one appeared to be searching for a lost wallet. He opened it slowly, expecting to see identification that could help him return it. Instead, he froze in disbelief. Inside were neatly folded bundles of money. His heart began to beat faster. There was more cash in that wallet than he had earned in months. Still unsure of what to do, Chinedu carried the wallet home and placed it carefully on the small wooden table in his room. He sat down and opened it again, counting the money slowly just to be sure he was not imagining things. 300,000 naira. His hands trembled slightly as he stared at the cash. The amount was enough to solve many of his problems for a while. Part of him wondered if he should report the wallet, but another part whispered that maybe fate had placed it in his path. That night, Chinedu lay in bed, staring at the ceiling while the wallet rested on the table nearby. The room was quiet, except for the distant sounds of the city at night. He closed his eyes eventually, but his mind continued to wander between excitement and worry. When sleep finally came, it brought a strange dream. In the dream, a tall shadow stood far away in the darkness, watching him silently. The figure did not move, but a faint whisper seemed to echo in the air, repeating slowly, "Nothing in this world is free." The next morning, Chinedu tried to push the dream out of his mind. His phone rang, and when he answered, it was his old friend Musa. Musa's cheerful voice filled the room as he joked about how Chinedu had suddenly started doing better in business. Chinedu laughed lightly, though the strange dream still lingered in his thoughts. Musa suggested they meet later to catch up, and Chinedu agreed, hoping the conversation would distract him from the uneasy feeling he couldn't explain. Later that evening, Chinedu met Musa at a small roadside restaurant. The two friends sat across from each other, laughing and sharing stories about work and life in the city. Musa noticed that Chinedu seemed a little distracted and asked what was on his mind. After hesitating for a moment, Chinedu told him about the wallet he had found. Musa's eyes widened with excitement as he joked that Chinedu had just found the luckiest opportunity of his life. After the dinner, Chinedu returned home and placed the wallet back on the table. The room felt strangely quiet again. For a moment he wondered if someone might eventually come looking for it, but no one had yet. As he prepared for bed, he noticed the room seemed slightly colder than usual. A faint breeze moved through the window curtains, and the shadows in the room looked longer than before. That night, Chinedu fell asleep again, and the strange dream returned. The shadow he had seen before was now closer than it had been the previous night. Though the figure's face remained hidden, Chinedu felt as though it was watching him closely. The same whisper echoed in the darkness, repeating the words he had heard before. "Nothing in this world is free." Early the next morning, Chinedu woke up suddenly with sweat on his forehead. He sat up quickly and looked toward the table where the wallet rested. Everything seemed normal, yet the dream had felt too real to ignore. Curious, he opened the wallet again and checked the money inside. To his surprise, the exact same amount of cash remained neatly stacked inside, untouched. Later that morning, Chinedu arrived at his repair shop and began organizing his tools and equipment. The extra money from the wallet had allowed him to buy new supplies, and his shop looked better than it had in months. For the first time in a long while, customers began stopping by more frequently. Chinedu worked carefully and professionally, grateful for the chance to improve his business. Later that night, a soft knock sounded on his door. Chinedu froze for a moment before slowly walking toward the entrance. When he opened the door, he saw an elderly man standing outside. The man was tall and thin, with deep, thoughtful eyes and a wooden staff in his hand. The old man looked at Chinedu calmly and spoke in a quiet voice. "Good evening, young man. I believe you have something that belongs to me." Chinedu's heart began racing as he realized what the man was referring to. Without saying a word, he walked back inside and returned with the wallet. The old man watched him carefully as he held it out. When the wallet changed hands, a strange sense of relief washed over Chinedu. It felt as if a heavy weight had suddenly lifted from his shoulders. The old man nodded slowly and thanked him for returning it. Before leaving, the old man spoke one final time. He explained that the wallet was never meant to bring endless fortune. It was a test of character, a reminder that easy wealth often comes with hidden costs. After the old man disappeared into the quiet night, Chinedu closed his door and stood silently in his room. For the first time in days, the air felt peaceful again. The following morning, Chinedu returned to his shop feeling lighter and more focused. He worked carefully throughout the day, repairing electronics and helping customers just as he had always done before. In the afternoon, Musa visited again and noticed that Chinedu seemed calmer than before. Chinedu simply smiled and said that sometimes the greatest lessons come from the most unexpected places. As the days passed, Chinedu continued working hard and rebuilding his life honestly. Though he never saw the mysterious wallet again, he often remembered the lesson it had brought into his life. Sometimes, as he walked past the same street where he had first found it, he paused for a moment and looked at the ground beneath the streetlight. The wallet was gone, but the memory remained. Years later, Chinedu would still tell the story to friends and neighbors as a reminder that not everything that looks like a blessing truly is. Some things come into our lives only to teach us the value of patience, wisdom, and honesty. And from that day forward, whenever Chinedu counted the money he earned from his hard work, he smiled quietly, knowing that the most valuable wealth in life is not money, but the peace that comes from doing the right thing.